What's up, everybody? Today we're diving into a moment that shook Washington to its core. Adam Schiff, the man who spent years insisting he had evidence of collusion, was left absolutely speechless when Maria Bartiromo played a clip live on TV that shattered his entire narrative.
The whistleblower claims this all started because Adam Schiff assumed he was going to be the director of the CIA in a Hillary Clinton administration. Of course, this program was never buying it, and we did not buy into Schiff's claims. I spoke with current CIA Director John Ratcliffe, then Congressman on the Judiciary Committee, many times over the last 10 years. Here's a conversation on Sunday Morning Futures back from 2019. Watch this.
The Democrats have made the mistake of staking the credibility of all this on Adam Schiff, the person that they put in charge of this investigation. Turns out is the one that helped start it by meeting with a person who walked out of Adam Schiff's office and became the whistleblower. And at the very same time that that's happening, as you mentioned, now there's an Inspector General report that comes out that says during the last impeachment hoax, the Trump-Russia one, Adam Schiff repeatedly made false statements to the American people about the FBI's actions.
You know, Adam Schiff was certainly out and about a lot throughout the last 3 years saying that there is collusion in plain sight. And now we get the IG report and we actually see the misconduct and what they call errors, fraud, whatever you want to call it. What is your reaction to what you learned from Michael Horowitz?
It wasn't just that Adam Schiff was out and about. He put out a report that said there was no FISA abuse by the FBI. That was false. He said that the FBI didn't fail to turn over exculpatory information. That was false. He said that the Steele dossier was not a central part of the FISA applications against Carter Page. That was false.
All along, John Ratcliffe and Devin Nunes knew what Schiff was doing. When asked to comment, Schiff's office said this: Kash Patel's latest smear against Senator Schiff is absolutely and categorically false. These baseless smears are based on allegations that were found to be not reliable, not credible, and unsubstantiated from a disgruntled former staffer. Now, Ashley Davis, the whistleblower claims this all started because Adam Schiff assumed he was going to be the director of the CIA in a Hillary Clinton administration. Of course, President Trump won, and those dreams were dashed. But how could Adam Schiff deny this when we have it on tape? He being, at the time, either the chairman of the intelligence community or later the ranking member of the intelligence committee in the House. He's over there on Chuck Todd and all these other Sunday shows saying that collusion between Trump and Russia is in plain sight. How do you deny that after you said that with the role as chairman of intelligence committee?
Well, first of all, I think that I'm so happy this is finally coming out and we actually have proof. And the number one thing that I think is different this time is the fact that the 302 report is now unclassified. And so Congress does have the information and the proof to back it up. There's two people I want us to watch over the next several months that can make Senator Schiff's life very, very difficult. Jim Jordan, Judiciary Committee Chair in the House, Chuck Grassley, Senate Judiciary Chair. They can report both him to the Ethics Committee in the Senate to get some sort of repercussions done of what has happened. Obviously, we have the FBI and the DOJ as well that can be helpful, but those are the two that I'm really watching that are outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, look, this had so much impact. This ripped our country apart. Adam, put what they did to me aside, the fact that I got slammed for pursuing the truth, and I would not abandon my principles because I knew this was a lie, and I kept saying it on air. Put that aside, the way that they attacked so many people if you didn't go along with the herds of saying that Trump did something wrong. What about the fact that it put a sitting president on defense? Every time he went anywhere, he had to say, I did not collude. What about the fact that it put his administration in jeopardy because so many people weren't sure if he did something wrong and they didn't want to join the administration? What about the rest of the world who looked at this and said, wow, did Donald Trump cheat and gain the election through collusion with Russia? I mean, there were so many elements that this made-up story from the Hillary Clinton campaign generated.
Well, it put an entire cloud over this entire country. And That's just not right, Maria. That's not the way it works. And thank goodness all of this is finally coming out. But imagine someone so desperate for power, so politically motivated that in this case he, or certainly a she, but in this case he, Adam Schiff, would actually twist and contort the truth and come up with lies and tell us he had evidence that we were going to be amazed by if he's finally allowed to bring it to light. Well, he didn't bring it to light because there was nothing. It was all lies and made up. And thank goodness it's finally coming to light and people are stepping forward. It's just, it's time to be rid of this guy.
Yeah, and there might be much worse, egregious activity here beyond just lies. There could be criminality, and we are watching Pam Bondi to see what she does next. It is in the Attorney General's hands to see if we will have accountability after 10 years of these attacks on presidents.
Think about the impact of Schiff's claims. An entire presidency was overshadowed by this narrative. Every time Trump walked into a room, he had to defend himself. Allies overseas questioned whether America's elections were legitimate. Potential staffers avoided joining the administration because they didn't know what was true. Schiff's words didn't just mislead Congress, they misled the world. Now the big question is what happens next. Leaders like Jim Jordan and Chuck Grassley are pushing for accountability. Ethics referrals, investigations, and even potential legal consequences could be on the table. Schiff's office calls the allegations baseless smears. But with the unclassified reports now public, there's no hiding behind talking points. The receipts are there and the pressure is mounting. This moment isn't just about one politician getting caught. It's about truth finally cutting through years of lies and spin. For so long, the American people were told a story that divided the country, weakened trust in our institutions, and damaged our global reputation. Now, piece by piece, that story is crumbling. And the fact that it happened live on TV in real time makes it impossible to ignore. Adam Schiff spent years promising evidence that never existed. And when confronted with his own words, he was left with nothing to say. This is the turning point. Americans are finally seeing the truth behind the curtain. If you believe accountability matters and the truth deserves to be heard, hit that subscribe button right now and join me as we continue to break down the moments the mainstream media doesn't want you to.